What is white people?
Being in public barefoot.
Going outside in brick weather, say January, with like shorts, toes out, arms out.
Wearing your shoes on the bed. Yeah, wearing your shoes on the bed is actually insane.
It's something that's like off you or like shouldn't really be going on.
You know that face they make when they're like, yeah, that shit.
Any type of fucking casserole.
Not having to think about repercussions.
What does it mean to be whitewashed? Whitewashing is a term used to describe minorities who have seemingly assimilated with white culture. Based on a quick Google search, however, whitewashing is a lime and water solution for painting or to conceal unpleasant facts about someone or something. But for this short doc, we will be discussing it in terms of slang within the Black community. As a Black individual, have you ever described anyone or been described as whitewashed for liking, in quotations, white people shit? I'm sure you can think of many examples in media of individuals that fit this stereotype. To further delve into these terms, I've consulted fellow Howard students about their personal opinion. My question is, what is white people shit and how do you define whitewashing?
I think white people shit is not having to think about repercussions. Just going into a situation and just being like, yeah, I don't really have to think that far ahead about what could happen next. So I'm just going to go for it.
So white people activity could be like just being more reckless or being more carefree in society.
What do I define as white people shit? When you see someone do something that like kind of acknowledges their, I guess, lack of social oppression. I just know white people to be, not connected with, certain social norms because they frankly don't have to deal with them. Or white people shit is like something like overtly crazy, like, I don't know, putting mustard on ice cream, because you probably see that shit on TikTok.
Do you consider your sport to be white people shit?
No. Pertaining to skateboarding, not really, because skateboarding is more of like a lifestyle. If you want to live a certain lifestyle, then you might skateboard. But like other activities I do, like for sure, I went to a PWI in high school and I wanted to be with Black people, so I just like do the Black people activities. I just go to the open gym, play basketball. I wasn't really that good, but I got to hang out with Black people and crack jokes with them, so it was really fun. If I want to hang out with a bunch of white people, I might, get a pickleball racket. Not saying if you're Black you can't do that, but still.
I define white people activity as stuff that you just never would catch a person of color doing, like just because of the way that we were brought up, like raised and stuff, like we were taught different morals and things like that.
I'm going to get real philosophical here. You know what I'm saying? This is theory. Stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Stay with me. I believe white activity is honestly like what I categorize like the white mind, because the Black mind thinks differently from the white mind. I think just because they've like grown up with the slave mindset, they think that everything is just, accessible for them. I don't know. Like they just think like everything is accessible.
I definitely believe that like white people shit is a thing, because like I grew up white and I grew up with like a white family and everything, so I was always kind of surrounded by it. But since I've been at Howard, I've definitely noticed like a cultural difference. Like this is really small, but I remember last year like I wore green on St. Patty's Day and nobody else did that, and they were like, that's white people shit. And I was like, oh wait, you're right. So I don't think it's a bad thing per se, but I think that it definitely does exist. And I think that it exists in like small ways and different just like traditions, I guess you could say, like that. I feel like it's definitely a thing in media too.
How would you define white people activity?
That's tough. A carefree aspect of it, just like, oh, I can take and choose anything I want from over here and mesh it into my own. And I was even thinking like in terms of like stuff white people do that Black people would also do, but then get like criticized for it. And I was thinking of like underage drinking, going out and partying, sneaking out. Like if a white kid does that, that's just them as like a teenager. But like if a Black kid does it, then it's like reckless and bad and everything. So I guess I would just define white people shit as like just kind of taking and choosing and doing whatever they want.
What I consider to be white people activity, or how I define it, you're like walking down, but you're making it look mad weird. Like you're up to something. And I feel like that's white people activity. Like I feel like as black people, we chilling. Like you just look like you're trying to start something weird or crazy, like throwing toilet paper or something.
Your race determines what activities you do, but maybe not determines, but influences.
Hi, my name is Sharday Henderson. I am a junior history major, women, gender, sexuality studies minor from Fredericksburg, Virginia. So the demographics of Fredericksburg City and Spotsylvania County, it is majority white. For Fredericksburg City in particular, it is 66% white, and they are non-Hispanic or Latino white people. I feel like, especially my time being at Howard, I've learned that there are many definitions of being black. There are many ways to be black, and subscribing to the ideal that just because you are outside of the normative black experience for whatever reason is you being whitewashed is counterproductive to unity between black people. I have definitely been called whitewashed a lot of times, and not even necessarily at Howard. It was more so before I came to Howard from other black people and honestly white people that I was around in my hometown, and especially in the schools that I went to. But it's just very difficult when you're in these predominantly white spaces and you're the only black kid. You don't see black people in these spaces on TV, and when you do, it comes with some sort of message of overcoming racism.
Like, do you agree that white people have different behaviors?
I think because of the system that America and a majority of the world operates on, whiteness is the norm. And so there are certain behaviors that white people are able to participate in where you may not bat an eye to it if it's a white person participating in it. White people saying the N-word, for example, in my hometown, people would make a fuss, but they would not make as big of a fuss, if that makes sense, because of their proximity to blackness and being around black people.